Stop everything for 3 minutes. This might be the most important thing you'll ever discover about manifestation in life. Have you ever wondered why so many manifestation methods seem to promise the world, but fail when it comes to delivering? The answer might be where you least expect it, in your breathing. Not the superficial way we usually do it, but an ancient technique that has been kept under lock and key by spiritual elites for millennia. While thousands of people repeat phrases in front of mirrors, meditate with sophisticated apps, or visualize grand dreams, there's an ancient secret working on another level. It doesn't require belief. It doesn't demand blind faith. It doesn't depend on visualization. Only on an act you have performed since the moment you were born, breathing, but in a specific way, with intention and direction. For 5,000 years, spiritual masters have used this breathing practice with surgical precision. A pattern of 111 deep breaths, directly connected to 2 power centers of the body, the third eye and the abdominal center, where your ancient and forgotten navel lies. The result? Realities shaped within 48 hours, collapses of time and space, manifestations that defy any modern logic. Hard to believe? Maybe because you are stuck with conventional forms of manifestation, those that feed only your intellect. Empty visualizations, affirmations your brain rejects, meditations that just skim the surface. It's like trying to light a fire with wet wood, ignoring the dry matchstick in your hand. Modern science confirms it. When we breathe, deeply activating the abdominal zone, the vagus nerve is stimulated. This power cable connects body and brain, unlocking reactions once considered mystical. Babies know this intuitively. Have you noticed how a newborn breathes? The movement starts in the abdomen. This is natural breathing, the one that activates the energetic center known as the lower dantian, the same point which, in Taoist and Ayurvedic traditions, is considered the epicenter of human vital power. And why does this matter? Because at this point, the navel lies the link between the physical world and higher energetic planes. In the Vedas and Hindu mythology, this center is depicted as the origin of the universe, from which the creator Brahma emerged from the navel of Vishnu. This is not just symbolism. It is a coded language about pure manifestation. This energetic center was your first connection to life. Through the umbilical cord, you received everything you needed to grow and survive. That connection was not cut, only forgotten. The navel remains an active, energetic portal. It doesn't disappear over time, it just falls asleep. And here's the crucial point. Most modern manifestation methods fail because they operate only on the rational plane. The problem? Your brain is not dumb. It knows that repeating, "I am rich," with an overdrawn card and piling bills is a lie. The resistance is immediate, automatic, and sabotages any progress. It's like trying to convince a physicist that gravity doesn't exist. The logical brain dismisses the statement before it even has time to penetrate the subconscious. But what if you could jump over this barrier? Conscious breathing allows this. By activating the abdominal center with a precise pattern, you directly access the language of the energetic body. And this language does not argue, it creates. It transforms. It shapes reality. That's why ancient masters achieved visible and rapid results. They were not trying to manipulate the mind. They were working with the engine of creation. Unfortunately, this knowledge has been diluted by the modern spiritual industry. What was once sacred wisdom turned into a product. What was discipline became a shortcut. But the body remembers. And now you can remember too. The combination of the abdominal center with the third eye creates a kind of energetic highway that propels intentions with a force that common visualization will never reach. The third eye perceives the destiny. The navel anchors that destiny into matter. It is the fusion of spirit with form. It's not about faith. It's about biology. It's about energy. It's about remembering that your body knows how to manifest if you know how to breathe. Don't waste time with formulas that only feed the rational ego. Go straight to the source. Breathe, activate, create, because the real miracle isn't what you desire. It's what you decide to embody. If you have never managed to manifest your deepest desires, it's because you were breathing the wrong way, and no one told you that. Yes, breathing. Something so basic and automatic may seem irrelevant, but it is precisely this neglected act that separates frustration from fulfillment. There's an ancient technique which, when practiced precisely, has transformed lives in just a few days. We are not talking about generic visualizations or affirmations thrown to the wind. This is a millennial respiratory system based on 111 conscious cycles, capable of reprogramming your brain and unlocking a dormant creative potential. Modern science is only now beginning to catch up with what ancient masters already knew millennia ago. When we breathe deeply and rhythmically, we access brain states such as alpha and theta, the same present and experienced. Meditators and geniuses in a state of creative flow. In this state, the rational mind quiets, control dissolves, and a fertile field emerges where manifestation occurs almost spontaneously. During this technique, your body enters parasympathetic dominance, the same state activated during deep sleep or spontaneous healing. The heart rate slows, blood pressure balances, and neurotransmitters such as dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins flood your brain, creating fertile ground for inner transformation. The result? Immediate physical well-being, mental clarity, and an energetic boost that begins to shape the world around you almost magically. But it's not magic. It's neuroscience. It's vital energy. It's deep reprogramming. Dr. Joe Dispenza, a renowned neuroplasticity researcher, has documented hundreds of cases where just 20 minutes daily of this deep breathing were enough to create permanent changes in the brain, altering beliefs, behaviors, and, consequently, the reality lived. The brain, in these induced relaxation states, becomes malleable like clay. Old patterns begin to dissolve, and new connections, more aligned with your true desires, form. Each breath in this sacred cycle of 111 acts as a code, a key, a concrete step toward materializing what once seemed unreachable. In the first cycles, the body relaxes. Then, the energy centers align and vibrate in synchrony. In the final moments, intention is sealed in the quantum field. And from there, the manifestation process ceases to be theory. It becomes experience. The position to perform this practice is simple but precise. Sit with your spine straight. Place one hand over your heart and the other over your abdomen, closing the energetic circuit between these two centers. The inhalation should come exclusively through the nose and be abdominal, directly activating the energy center at the navel. The breath retention, the most powerful moment of the process, serves as a catalyst. It is where energy condenses, purifies, and projects toward creation. It's important to understand that the number 111 was not chosen by chance. It carries a vibration which, according to sacred numerology, represents the point of alignment between intention and manifestation. It is the moment when the universe opens its doors and begins to conspire in your favor, but only if your frequency is tuned to the vibration of authentic desire. This numeric series directly activates your spiritual DNA and tunes you to universal abundance. Ancient traditions knew this. Tantric texts speak of Kundalini, a creative force in the shape of a serpent resting at the base of the spine. Once awakened, This energy ascends, activating vital centers up to the third eye, creating a bridge between the visible and invisible, between thought and manifestation. Breathing, in this context, is not relaxation. It is ignition. In the energetic field, the shoulder, abdomen, and the third eye form a kind of power axis, a channel where energy and vision unite. When air enters deeply and meets its pause, a reservoir of creative force is created. When it exits, it carries away tensions, blockages, and beliefs that once sabotaged your goals. Imagine what this means. Each breathing cycle is not just air coming in and out. It is you shaping reality with precision. It is a vibrational script. Each phase fulfills a specific function. Calm, align, activate, seal. What perhaps impresses most is how quickly this works. Reports from practitioners of this ancient technique reveal transformations in just 48 to 72 hours. People trapped in patterns of scarcity, suffering, or stagnation began to see concrete changes, financial, emotional, physical, without resorting to external methods, simply by breathing consciously and with discipline. Sophie, for example, a 34-year-old accountant, had been living months of financial tension. After just 3 days of practice, a long-delinquent client spontaneously appeared to pay off her debt. On the same day, she received an unexpected job offer. She didn't ask. She just breathed the right way. What changes is not just the mind. It is the chemistry. It is the electromagnetic field around you. It is your energetic signature. That is why when you activate this respiratory system, you don't just wish for something, you become compatible with it. It is not a spell. It is the science of energy. It's time to stop seeking outside what can only be activated within. Breathe with presence. Change with intention. Manifest with precision. If you had access to a simple, free, and millennial tool capable of transforming your reality in a matter of days, would you use it or let it pass? Will you let it slip by? The decision you make now can define the next chapters of your life. Thousands of people report surprising changes with the practice of this ancient breathing technique. Sophie unlocked her financial life in 72 hours. Mark, an entrepreneur from Lyon, faced constant conflicts with his partners until, from one day to the next, an energy of harmony took over his professional environment. Everything flowed smoothly. How? By changing the way he breathed. These results, though they seem miraculous, have a scientific basis. By synchronizing your breath with the body's vital energy center, an immediate alteration occurs in your personal electromagnetic field, as if your frequency switched channels. What once seemed unreachable now begins to be attracted naturally. Opportunities, connections, solutions. Your field becomes a living magnet, drawing experiences compatible with your new vibration. This effect isn't esoteric, it's quantum. Physicists have already proven that particles can influence each other instantly over a distance, a phenomenon known as non-local entanglement. When you align energetically, you don't need to go after things. They come to you. But the key isn't just practicing once. It's about making this a new internal pattern. Neuroscience shows that creating new, durable brain connections requires 21 days of continuous repetition. And for a new behavior to become automatic, unconscious, and permanent, 66 days. That's why the oldest spiritual traditions always spoke of 40-day cycles. The ancients knew that's the time needed to reprogram mind, body, and energy. After the first week of practice, most people report deeper mental clarity, a visible increase in energy, and a kind of personal magnetism. People around them begin to notice. Opportunities present themselves. and a new version of you begins to emerge with strength and purpose. This internal transformation almost immediately reflects in your external reality. Relationships improve, previously blocked paths open, synchronies appear with startling frequency. What once felt like effort now feels like destiny. This is exactly the knowledge ancient masters kept under lock and key. They knew that the correct breath, practiced consistently, could shape destiny. And now that you know, the question is simple. Will you stay where you are, feeding unfulfilled dreams? Or will you finally take hold of the most powerful tool ever given to humanity? Your current life is a direct consequence of the shallow breaths you repeat every day without realizing it. Now imagine what can happen when you consciously take control of this millennia-old creative force. How much longer will you wait? You already have the key. You just need to turn it. The decision is yours, and the right moment is now. If this content has provoked, inspired, or made you reflect, subscribe to the channel now to receive more practices and revelations like this. And tell me in the comments, are you ready to take control of your reality? I want to know how this technique resonated with you.